Hey, Sekou's MVP ladder is up again on NBA.com, updated. It's as fresh as can be. And once again, it's James Harden sitting in the #1 spot. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, and Paul George in the 5 slot, and deservedly so. What is it going to take for James Harden, whose 30-point scoring streak is now at 26 games, third longest in NBA history? He's creeping even into the Wilt numbers now. What's it going to take for somebody to overtake him?
Well, I mean, listen, if somebody could have a week like he's had a month, then you're talking. I mean, but we've got to remember, Harden came from basically off the map to this spot on the MVP ladder. Similar to what the Rockets did in the standings, Matt. You know, from 14th to back in the mix into that top 4 at one point. So it's a situation where Harden is playing so well, you don't win the MVP in January with a crazy month like he's had and with an unbelievable run like he's having right now. But you certainly distance yourself from the larger pack. Now it becomes a deal where amongst Giannis, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, and Paul George, is one of these guys poised with basically 30 games left, you know, coming out of the stretch to take the challenge of chasing James Harden with unbelievable performances night after night. Not to the level Harden has had, but somewhere in that neighborhood. To me, Giannis is poised. I mean, he's been there all season long. There's a razor-thin line between his entire season and really the bum rush that Harden has had the last month on the MVP ladder.
He's certainly been the more consistent of the two when you factor in team success and his numbers. And he kind of fits the profile of a traditional MVP, an ascendant team. In other words, a team that's improved significantly from one year to another, and the crazy numbers that he has put up.
And I think the required narrative you have to build an MVP campaign. Now, Harden has a very compelling one right now as well. Coming off of the ground the way they did to start this season and getting themselves back in the mix. James Harden being the reigning Kia MVP. But Giannis's case is bolstered also by the fact that he's got the guy who's going to be the front runner for Coach of the Year right now, leading that Bucks team in Mike Budenholzer. And if they get to the stretch run of the season, can fight off the Raptors and whoever else in the East for that #1 spot, gives him another huge component that you factor into his MVP case. I don't think we see the Rockets chasing for that top spot. They're not going to get to the #1 spot in the West that they held last year. That also, I think, really bolstered the MVP argument for James Harden a year ago.
Yeah. On the other hand, you had Russell Westbrook a couple of years ago, who was, what, the 6th seed, I think, that year when he won the MVP? Again, because of the numbers.
Triple-double narrative.
And the novelty of the triple-doubles.
Yes.